Hi guys, what's up? It's been a little while that I'm not active in this channel, so it's after a very long time that I tried to upload video because I was busy with my life, and today, without any ado, I'd like to start the new topic, and the topic is gonna be skin pathology. Actually, I'm not teaching you. Actually, I'm sharing my knowledge, what I've just studied. And so there may be some flaws. You can correct me out in the comment section below. So before really going deep into the skin pathology, so let's first discuss the basic anatomy of the skin. So let me use another color. So suppose this is a basement membrane. So it happens to be the junction between the epidermis and the dermis, right? We are here talking about the basic anatomy of the skin. So here's epidermis and this is dermis. So this is going to be the junction between the epidermis and the dermis. So this is basically your epidermal dermal junction. So the cells in the epidermis are named as keratinocytes. So here are many cells. Let's draw it here. So these are cells, right? And these cells are arranged in layers. And these layers are given different names on the basis of their locations and on the basis of the characteristics of the cells present here. So for some time, let me erase that topic so that I can make some more space. So this is another layer of cells, right? And let me draw another layer here. This is another layer of the cells. You get it? Now, so these all are keratinocytes, but these are placed in different layers, and these layers are named differently according to the characteristics of the cells and according to the location of the cells, right? So these cells are present at the basement membrane. This is basement membrane. So these cells are attached to the basement membrane. So these are basically the basal cells. So these basal cells, which are seated on the basement membrane, they are called stratum basale, right? So this layer of cell is called stratum basale, or this layer is called stratum basale layer. Now, just about the stratum basale layer, there are another type of cells, and these cells are actually, when we look into the high-power microscope, there is something between these cells. These are called desmosomes. Right? Now, let's look these cells in a bit high-power microscope. Suppose these are two cells. Now, we'll look in these cells in high power, and now we're pulling these cells apart. Now, when we pull these cells apart, what we see is these desmosomes. And when you pull these cells apart, the desmosomes, they form some spines-like structures, cytoplasmic spines, right? So on pulling apart on the high-power microscope, what we see is the cytoplasmic extensions of between the two cells, and these are actually the desmosomes that has been stressed out, right? So under high-power microscope, when they are pulled apart, you will see spines-like structures. So these cells, which are present in these layers, when they are pulled apart, they will show you the spines-like structures. So these cells are said to be present in the stratum spinosum. Why stratum spinosum this layer is called? stratum spinosum because the cells in these layers, when viewed under high-power microscope, by pulling it out, you will see the spines-like processes within the cells. That's why it's called a stratum spinosum layer. Now, above the spinosum layer, there are cells, and these cells have granules in them. These are granules. There's granules when you see under high-power microscope, you will see these granules. So, because these cells have granules like that, this layer of cells is called stratum granulosum. Granulosum. Do you get it? Now another important thing that I like to talk is about this stratum granulosum. There are keratin fibers, and with these keratin fibers, keratin layer, there are some cells, but they don't have nucleus, and these are keratinocytes, which have already been dead, right? Keratins with keratinocytes with no any nucleus. So this layer is called stratum corneum. Right? So basically, the clinically important layers that we have to know in anatomy of the skin is stratum basilis and stratum spinosum and stratum granulosum and stratum corneum. Okay, now this is the dermis. Below the basement membrane we have dermis, and in dermis, what is there? What are present there? There are basically the connective tissues, or blood vessels, or nerve endings, or you can find more appendages like ear shafts, or you can find sebaceous glands, or you can find sweat glands. Right? These are basically the contents of dermis. Okay. After knowing this basic outline in the skin, now we can get into the skin pathology. And the skin pathology we'll cover in the next video. Thank you.